Welcome to Inferno Fantasy. As we all know, the India A versus Australia A test match is coming up. We are going to have a look at Australia's some new rising stars and some players that most of us don't know about. Firstly, we'll start off with Will Pucovski, who is a young rising star from Victoria. He had a very good Sheffield Shield season this year, registering a record-breaking partnership of 486 runs for the first wicket along with his countryman Marcus Harris. This match was played against South America, and this partnership is the highest partnership record in Sheffield Shield. Now let's have a look at his stats. His first-class stats go as about. He's had 22 first-class matches where he had scored 1720 runs with an average of whooping 55.48. So also having such great Sheffield Shield season this year, he's also the contender for opening with David Warner in the first test match which is going to be played at Adelaide. So he's a great player to watch out for. Let's move on to our second player, Joe Burns, who hails from Queensland. He's a solid top-order right-handed batsman, and let's now look at his stats. He's had 21 test games with an average of 38.30 and 126 first-class games with an average of 39.63. And as news sources tell us, since Warner is going to be ruled out of the first test game, we might see Will Pucovski and Joe Burns open the innings. So that's a great combination, and let's see how it goes about. Let's move on to our next player, Marcus Harris. He hails from Perth. He's a top-order left-handed batsman, and he had a great season the last time India toured Australia. Now let's move on to his stats. He's had 9 international test games with an average of 24.06, 97 first-class games with a whooping average of 39.01. So he's a great, consistent, experienced player and someone very good for your fantasy team. Let's move on to our next player, Cameron Green. He's a prodigy all-rounder according to many Australian analysts. He's handy with both the bat and the ball. He's had 19 first-class games with scoring around 1196 runs with an average of 49.83, and along with this taking 30 wickets in this 19 games. So he's a promising youngster to look out for. We had enough of batsmen and all-rounders. Now let's move on to some bowlers. Let's start off with Mitchell Sweepson. He's a young leg spinner having a lot of variations and tricks attached to him. As you saw in the first T20 game, he got the prized wicket of captain Virat Kohli. Now let's check out his stats. He's had 45 first-class games in which he has picked around 138 wickets with a bowling average of 33.26. So his googlies. Let's move on to our next bowler, Will Sutherland, who is a right-arm medium-fast bowler. He played his first Sheffield Shield season this year and was quite impressive. He played 7 games and took a total of 24 wickets, which is quite good to start off with. His main ability is to swing the ball up front. So he brings us to the end of the player analysis, and please do watch out for these players. Now, let's move on to the Dream 11 team that I have made for the first practice test match between Australia A and India A. In the wicketkeeper section, I'm having Alex Carey and Vridhaman Saha. In the batsman section, I'm having Joe Burns, Moses Henriques, Will Pucovski and Cheteshwar Pujara. In the all-rounders section, I've taken the youngster Cameron Green and the experienced Ravichandran Ashwin. In the bowling section, I'm having Jackson Bird, James Pattinson and Mohammad Siraj. I have made Cheteshwar Pujara as my captain and Moses Henriques as my vice captain. So this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please do like the video, share the video and subscribe our channel if you like the content we are putting up. And if you want to get any Dream 11 team updates, you can join us at Telegram. The channel link is given in the description. Thank you, and this is Inferno Fantasy signing off.